If you struggle to understand what to do when you boot up a replay, or feel like you don't know where to start with analysing it, this is the video for you. I'm going to show you an easy method that will help you take a focused approach to your matches. With this method, you'll benefit immediately and it will only take you about 25 minutes, but you can do it in less if it suits you. I will also walk you through how I learned from my own replays with this method, so even if you're not interested in learning how to analyse, you might be interested in learning about Zerburn stuff. Let's get into the basics of the method. First, you'll need some footage of course, so go play some rivals and come back to the video. It's preferable if you struggled with something in the matches, but it's not essential. You'll want to select only 2 games from your footage. Second, you need to have an idea of what went wrong. What stood out to you the most off the top of your head? It's much better if this is specific rather than broad. Think a move in neutral rather than the whole neutral game itself. You'll now go through the replay, skipping over everything that is not related to your chosen topic. If you struggle to deal with grab from Clarin, you will look at every instance of Clarin grab. You can analyse these instances to learn what you don't understand or could have done better. This is better demonstrated, so I will show you now with my own footage. Let's go through the steps. I played a session versus a fleet and selected 2 games towards the end of the session. I think it's better to select from near the end because the most adaptations have been made at this point. So throughout this session, I had a nagging problem of being walled out by Fair and not knowing what to do, so then I will look at every time that's happened in the game. To keep this engaging as possible for you, I won't go through this chronologically. I've instead grouped the notes I've taken after doing this, and I'll show you examples of what I've learned with the notes I took. There were 3 main points I took away from dealing with Fleet's Fair: how I use shield and CC and floor hug against it, how I position and move around it, and recognising a bad Fair and punishing it. Let's take a look at each of these individually. By looking at the frame data, I can see Fleet Fair is shield grabbable, and I should start recognising and doing this. Frame data is really useful for theorising in your analysis. I notice I get a good floor hug on a Fair, and choose down tilt, which is pretty solid, but there might be better options such as a jab into a tilt, grab, or up smash. I managed to predict a Fair and floor hug grab it. Not every instance will be you making a mistake. Sometimes you should take notes of things that you should try going for again. My shine at his shield here wasn't clean enough, which is why I didn't hit, so I could practice this more. I also know that shield grab is a more consistent option now I could do instead. I hold down in this Fair, but not for long enough. I recognise that the length of the move catches me out sometimes. I get hit by a Fair from a full hop, but it made me realise the fleet doesn't really get all that much reward from Fair, although it's a pretty good move in neutral. I get caught by a Fair while dashing in. I SSDI away instead of floor hugging, which would have been better. I can think about the Fair coming next time I dash in and get a punish. I get hit by Fair while extending off stage. It gets me thinking that I could bait it out instead and punish it more when edge guarding. My approaching fireball gets stuffed out by Fair. It makes me realise how good an option it is for countering aerial approaches and keeping me grounded. I get hit by a Fair by jumping into it, even though I dash outside of the range. It makes me recognise I should work on my movement and recognise the length of the move before jumping in. I notice I don't react appropriately to a whiffed Fair, and it also shows a habit my opponent has of shielding after whiffing it, so I can start grabbing it in the future. I get Faired after shining on shield and doing a short hop. I notice this happens a lot versus this player, so I know shine grab or double shine would be better options here next time for shine shield pressure. I like this idea I had to beat cross up Fair from ledge, turn around, shine at a shield, and to grab. Fleet does a full hop Fair that I notice is pretty punishable since she doesn't go through the landing animation. I punish it with Fair, but I also think that upper could be a pretty solid choice too. I get hit by Fair on shield and go for a nair, which misses. I go frame by frame and see that my jump out of shield was frame perfect, but I was just a bit too slow in the nair. So overall, I use this method to recognise patterns in my play that They help me make a better game plan versus fleet by focusing on a specific aspect so I know what to look out for. I find this cuts out the noise of irrelevant stuff in a replay and lets you make quick and efficient analysis. You could easily go over the same replay, focusing on a different aspect too if you wanted. I hope this video gave you a better idea about how you might go about an analysis. I think a lot of people do get stuck because of the amount of information in a replay, so I thought this might help out those struggling with that a bit. Let me know if you enjoyed the video, and I am still working on a McLaren video for those who requested. I haven't forgotten. Anyways, I appreciate you guys and thanks for watching.